Hey, what's up guys? Yovi Montana here to make the world a better place. And as the title of this video says, today I wanted to share with you my experience with ayahuasca. So right now I'm actually here in the jungle of Sayulita. It's in the west north side of Mexico. And about an hour and a half south from here is where I actually went and did the ceremony, the ayahuasca ceremony. Now, before I share anything about this experience, I just want to say that everyone's experience is going to be very different. So that's one thing you have to keep in mind. The second thing you have to keep in mind is that this was my first and only time participating and doing this. So I don't know how my second, third, fourth, or fifth time, I don't know how that would be different and how that would change what I'm sharing with you now, because I've only done one ayahuasca ceremony. So that's just another thing to keep in mind. Now, there's so much that I want to go over, so this is probably going to be a longer video, but at the end of the day, I just wanted to make sure that I touch on as much as possible here and give you as much relevant and helpful information as possible. So let's get into it. So basically, I went to an ayahuasca ceremony. This is my first time doing this. And the reason I decided to do this was, number one, the opportunity came up. And number two, I've been thinking about it and looking into this now for some time. Just kind of, doing research, watch different documentaries, read different people's stories on what their experience was like. And the third reason was that I had some buildup going on. I had a buildup of this problem and so I figured that this would be a good way to see if it can help me heal or eliminate this problem that I was having. So this was a ceremony. So I'm gonna walk you through basically how it went down. And just the first thing I want to say, and this is what we're going to talk about later on in this video, is that the biggest thing the best way to describe this is in one word, and you can use the word medicine. Okay, people talk about psychedelic drugs. Sometimes they might compare ayahuasca to psilocybin mushrooms or other psychedelic hallucinogenic drugs, and that's just so wrong. It's just so wrong to even put them in the same category, because the only word, and I can honestly say the only word that you can really place, the only real way to label this is just medicine. That's literally what this is. And sure, there are some you will hallucinate. You will see some visions and stuff that you wouldn't normally see in this 3D realm that we're used to, living in. But still, it's just it's just an incredibly powerful medicine, and it's just so sad to me that what they sell and pharmacies and drugstores, all those chemicals that they call medicine, all those drugs that big pharmaceutical companies call medicine, is just so sad. It's just so ridiculous, and it's just, we don't even know how much harm those drugs are doing to us. Like those pills that you swallow, those prescribed drugs that you get prescribed, you have no clue how much harm that's actually doing to your body. So just being able to experience this medicine, this natural medicine that literally comes from Mother Nature, literally comes from the earth. It's a combination of two things that literally come from earth. Combine them, you brew them, and then you get the medicine. So it's a very natural thing. And in this medicine, the big thing that it does is that it just gives you, it lets you heal yourself. So look, instead of me telling you about how my whole day went and then the ayahuasca, this and that, I'll just focus on the main points here. Okay, the big main thing to know about this is that when you take this medicine, it's going to allow you to So here's the thing, right? I went into this thinking I had a certain problem that I wanted to fix. Okay, I thought I had this problem, and that's why I need that's what I want to work on with this medicine, and that's what I want to fix. But what happened was, the problem I thought was my problem wasn't the real underlying root cause problem. So in my head, I was thinking one thing, but once I took the medicine, I immediately, well, not immediately, but after it kicked in, as I was going through it, that's when I realized that I was totally focused on the wrong problem. That's not the right problem. This here is the problem that I need to address and that I need to fix. Okay? So that was the first very interesting thing, is I thought one thing, and turns out it was another. And before we started the ceremony, one of the healer's assistants, she basically said that ayahuasca always gives you what you need. Okay, it always gives you what you need, and that's exactly what I saw. It's like I didn't need to fix this. What I really needed was to fix this, and it basically allowed me. It allowed me to do that. So how it went down was basically we all sat down in the circle. You know, it's a big room. Everyone's seated. You're lying down on your yoga mat. Maybe you have a pillow behind you, whatever. And then they basically, you go in a circle and you walk up to the altar, and then they give you the medicine, and you drink the medicine at the altar. And then you go back to your seat. And what you're supposed to do is now sit in silence for 45 minutes until the ayahuasca kicks in. Now, what they told us is that if you don't feel after 45 minutes, we're going to ring a bell. And once we ring that bell, if you don't feel that the ayahuasca has kicked in, then you can come up and you can take a second dose of the medicine. And so that happened to me, as well as I'd say the majority of the other people there. Most people went up to get a second dose. And I did too. I sat back down. I waited like 10 more minutes, and I still wasn't feeling anything. And at this point, I was like getting a little bit frustrated. I'm like, all right, like, come on, like what's going on here? So I went up to the altar one more time to ask for a third dose. And because when I went up the second time, they only gave me a half dose, okay? Because the cup was only half full versus the first time it was full. So gave me a half dose, and so I went back down. I went back to get a third dose, and they respectfully declined me. They said that I should wait 30 more minutes to let the medicine fully give the medicine an opportunity to present itself, basically. And if I still don't feel anything after 30 minutes, to come back again. So I was like, all right, cool, fine. Like, give it 30 minutes, sure. I go back down, I sit down, and as soon as I sit down, obviously it kicks in right away. so yeah, I go back, I sit down and close my eyes. The first thing I noticed was my heart started increasing. It was beating faster. And I think that was the indication that the medicine was about to kick in. And so my heart's beating faster. I close my eyes. I start kind of just feeling it. And yeah, the initial things that I was, I guess, experiencing was it was hard to keep my eyes open. It just kind of was easier to just keep them closed. It kind of hurt to keep them open. And even though the room was kind of dark, there were some candles lit and everything, but it just kind of hurt to keep them open. So it was just much easier to keep my eyes closed. And so initially you kind of start seeing maybe some fractals, something like that, like some circles, some pattern shapes. You're not quite sure like what's going on yet, but you're just kind of seeing some things. And one of the other very interesting things was that I was fully there the whole time. Like, I felt that that it wasn't really like a strong. So hold on, let me say even though I took a dose and a half, and that probably lasted like 5-6 hours, the whole trip. Like, it was fully working. Like, the medicine was totally 100,000% like working. So I don't know what would have happened if I took more of the medicine, but I certainly didn't need to. Like, it was totally fully working, right? But even with that, the whole time, I was still there the whole time. I didn't feel like that this was like for example, I've taken psilocybin mushrooms in the past, and I'm gonna do a video about that as well. But when I've taken psilocybin mushrooms, they have tendency to literally throw me out of my body and like throw me into like another another realm, and like really out of my body. But with the ayahuasca, I was like still there. Like at any point in time, I could still open my eyes. I could still call for help if I needed help. I could still move if I needed to move. You know what I mean? Like I was still there. So in that sense, I felt that it was light. But like I said, I don't know what would have happened if I had taken more. But even if I had taken more, and I guess we'll find out if I go do this again. But I just feel that overall the medicine itself lets you just kind of, it doesn't, once again, it's hard to say because this is just my first time doing it, so I don't know. But what I am saying though is that I was still functional and like fully present there, and like it didn't like take me out of my body and like rip me to pieces. I was still there, you know what I mean? So that was I guess one good thing, because yeah, like mushrooms, like they can really like take you to like different places that aren't in the 3D realm. So anyways, I take the medicine, it kicks in, I start seeing these hallucinations. At first I'm like kind of okay, cool, like let's see what this is all about, right? And what basically happens throughout the whole trip is you basically turn into your own doctor. Okay, you turn into your own doctor, and the medicine allows you to heal yourself. It allows your body to heal itself. And the biggest thing that I learned with this experience, and this is I'm also happy to share this with you, is that I learned how much the body actually holds, how much the physical body, so the muscles, their skin, and literally this applies, I think, for like all your muscles across your whole body, like even in my face and in my mouth. Inside our body, we literally is like our spirit, right? Like our spirit is like somewhere here, right? Like throughout your body. And inside your muscles, inside your body, you literally hold all sorts of junk and gunk. You hold stress, you hold sadness, you hold fear, you hold anxiety, all sorts of negative feelings are held in your body. And so, like, you know when your muscles just feel sore, or like, you know, like you got a kink in your neck, or like at the bottom of your feet, like there's just like pain, or like your legs, or just like you're always like stretching and like this and that, right? Like all of the reason that is because you can almost compare it to like a maybe like a hard drive, like a computer hard drive. I don't know if that's the best way, but it's like as like a hard drive stores information. It's the same way with your body and your muscles. Your muscles are literally holding, like I said, fear, anxiety, sadness, all this junk, jealousy, like all these negative emotions that you feel, right? They live inside you, and if you don't let them go, right, which can sometimes be hard to do. Sometimes it's easy depending on what it is, but depending on what it is, it can also be very difficult, right? And so all these emotions, and these negative, you know, feelings, they're literally like in your body. They're literally in your body. And so during this whole ayahuasca experience, like I said, you turn into your own doctor, and that's when you realize this, and that's when you can actually do something about it. So the whole time, I literally, like, I felt it in the sole of my feet, and that's also why I'm going to be looking more into reflexology now, because in my left foot I still have the problem. On my right foot I was able to heal it during the ceremony. In my feet, right, in my like up here, in my neck, in my mouth, like I was working on my mouth, like I was literally biting my lips, biting the inside of my mouth, not like too aggressively, but just enough. It's like your body turns into its own doctor, and you know, like exactly what you need to do, and you can feel it like throughout your whole, like in my mouth, like I felt all of it, and I was just like getting it out, you know, and then you spit it out, you know. And so throughout the thing, like they give you a bucket. They give you one bucket for napkins, one bucket for your puke. And so throughout the whole time, you're basically, they call it like a purge. You're basically purging all of this negativity, and you're getting it outside you. So there's a lot of throwing up. There's a lot of yawning. There's a lot of big exhales, getting it all out. There's a lot of stretching. So like I said, the whole time I was stretching certain parts, trying to get that emotion, that negativity out. And you're basically just letting everything go. You're purging yourself of all of this bullshit, all of this unnecessary nonsense which you've been holding onto, you've been clinging onto, and like I said, because you cling onto it, it needs to be stored somewhere, and it's stored in your muscles. And yeah, the ayahuasca basically lets you, or I guess I should say it let me, cleanse myself of this. Now, one thing that happened early on, this was the first thing that started happening, was that so I was sitting down, right, and the entire bottom half of my body, so from my waist down, so my legs basically, they would not stop trembling. They were literally shaking, and they were probably shaking for hard to judge time, but I'd say 20 minutes to 30 minutes. 30 minutes. My legs were literally wouldn't stop shaking. Like this, and I was getting a little bit worried. I was getting a little bit worried. Because why the hell won't my body stop shaking? Am I having some sort of, I don't know, negative reaction to this? What the fuck's going on, And so I had considered putting my hand up. They basically tell you can put your hand up if you need a call, or you can just say, you can vocally say I need help, or you can just put your hand up, and someone will come to you and help you if you need help. So I'd considered putting my hand up, but at the same time, I didn't want to put my hand up. I wanted to work on this and figure this out and solve this by myself. And what I think was happening was that basically a lot of that negativity and a lot of that problem I was talking to you about, I think it was stored in the bottom half of my body. It was in my legs, my thighs, right? My legs, my hips. So that's why I was shaking for so long. And so at first I didn't know, what the hell am I supposed to do? Why the hell am I shaking? How do I stop this, right? I want to stop this. I don't like this. No one wants to be shaking during the ayahuasca ceremony, right? And that's when I did that. Kind of like a yawn, but like an exhale through my mouth. And I realized every time I did that, I felt just a little bit better, and my legs stopped shaking just a little bit less. And so that's when I realized that I need to get it out. And so I kept doing that. And yeah, after I'd say 5-10 minutes of that, it was slowly decreasing. The trembling was decreasing, and then it just came to a full stop. I guess I dealt with that. I had gotten it out, and then my legs just stopped shaking, and I felt it was just done. I felt that it was just done shaking. I had whatever that thing was inside my legs, whatever that was, it was finished. I had gotten it out of my legs. So that was nice. That was nice. And then from there, I don't really, I guess, know about the rest. I mean I do. I kind of mentioned it. Basically after that point, I just kind of turned into my own, continued to be my own doctor, and just worked on the rest of my body, one thing at a time. Did my neck, and it's so hard it's hard to understand. It's hard for you to understand what I'm trying to explain to you here when I say you turn into your own doctor. But that's just how it is. It's just inside your body. I've already said this, but it stores all of this gunk, and the ayahuasca allowed me to realize that it's there, because you don't realize that it's there. Day to day, you don't realize that it's there, right? You go on about your life, you do whatever the hell you gotta do, you go to the grocery store, you do this, you do that, but you don't realize that you're holding all of these things inside you, and it basically lets you fix that. One of the other incredible things was the music. So they were playing all sorts of different songs, all sorts of different instruments they were using. They were using shakers, they were using all sorts of different things. It was the most absolutely beautiful music the most absolutely beautiful healing music that I have ever had the honor of experiencing. And what's amazing is that these traditions and this medicine and the way they deliver the medicine to you and the whole process, this is like 5,000 plus years old. Like this comes from like the Amazonian jungle, right? Like these people have had this medicine. They've known this. Like they've had this for so long. And so they really know what they're doing. They really know what they're doing. And what was incredible was the songs and the music. And it's almost like you don't understand what they're saying, because it's not like they're singing in English, right? They're singing in whatever other language they were singing in. And it's not like you understand the words, right? But at the same time, it's like you understand what they're doing and what they're trying to say and what's the purpose of each song. There were some songs where it was so evident. It was just so like you just connect with the song and you just know exactly like what the vibe is. You know exactly what it is that they're trying to do for you, what it is that they're trying to get out of you or to remind you of, or you know what I mean? Like there's just a connection. And if it wasn't for the music and the songs that they play, I don't know how, like what kind of experience that would be. Like if you're thinking of that you can just kind of do this like, you know, like on your own or something like that, like please do not do that whatsoever. That is I personally think it's a horrible idea, because this is a very, very sacred medicine. Very, very sacred medicine. There's a very specific way that you need to go about doing it, you know? So the music plays a big part. And because your eyes are closed for the majority of the time, the music is also what keeps you grounded. It's what keeps you there back in that room, right? Because remember I told you at the beginning, it wasn't very like it took me to a different realm. I was still rather grounded, right? I was grounded. And one of the reasons I believe is because of the music, because it gives you something to remind you that, hey, you're here. You're doing this, you're in this process, you're healing. That's what this is about. And the music was there to keep you grounded, in a very strong sense. One of the other things about the music is that there was this one was my favorite. This one that stuck with me. And it was basically the song, and it would go like, the end of it was basically like, and basically what they were doing with that, I don't remember the before and after of that particular song, but that it's literally like a broom, or like you're just brushing away, like you're like brushing away all of that and then you spit it out, you know what I mean? And so it's literally like that particular song, it was just so evident that moment, and with that song, the only intent with that was just to really just like get all this shit out, spit it out. And then they would go to a different song, and then the next song would be about something totally different. It would be, I couldn't understand all of them. That's the thing. Like I was only with I'd say like maybe like 20% of the songs that I was able to connect with, and I kind of really understand what it is that they're trying to do. For some of them, it wasn't quite clear. For some of them, it was like, this one is specifically designed to help you like get to help you heal your sadness, for example. And then I literally just like started crying. I started crying about this thing, and then like just getting it out through your eyes, right, through your tears. So the music plays an incredibly important part, and it was just the most beautiful music I've like I said that I've probably ever heard. So that was really also quite phenomenal. And with that being said, yeah, that's kind of basically it. You know, we took the dose at probably around 11:30 at night, and it kind of probably kicked in around 12:30, 1 o'clock, and maybe around that time. And then you basically go until the morning, and you're there until 7 a.m. You're going through this trip. Around 7 a.m. I'd say it starts or 6, 7 a.m. it starts like easing up, right? And then you slowly just kind of start getting back to normal, and then then it's over. And yeah, that's that's really basically it. That's basically it. So to recap, it's once again, it's very healing. It gives you exactly what you need, even though you might not know what it is that you need. You got to trust the process. I remember at the beginning when I started it, when it was starting to kick in, the thing that I was telling it was, I fully trust you. I fully 100%, like, I trust you. And I said that probably like at least 6 or 7 times as it was kicking in, as it was starting to do things with me. I just kept saying, I trust you, I trust you, I trust you. And I really did. I really fully did trust it. And I think that's super important, that if you're going to do this, you have to just be able to give it your full 100% love and trust, and just trust it. Like, trust it like you've never trusted anything else. Because if you don't trust it, you're gonna have a tough time. You're gonna have a difficult time, and I don't know how that will go for you. So it's really, really important that you just trust the medicine, and yeah, and you just trust it. And yeah, well, the other things I was saying was that you're able to heal yourself. So if you're, whatever you're struggling through right now, like if you feel that, you know, something's not quite right with yourself, and by the way, like I've seen and I've heard, I've watched documentaries, like it's healed. This has healed people from all sorts of different things, and I have no doubt that this can heal many different conditions, many different illnesses. No doubt in my mind. After from what I experienced, I have no doubt in my mind that this is fully capable of helping. And once again, it's not that the medicine heals you; it's that it just allows your body, allows you to better be able to heal yourself. Okay, that's the big thing that I also want to mention. So yeah, that's it. That was my ayahuasca experience. Will I do it again? Maybe. I would say probably, if the opportunity presents itself in a correct way. I have a friend in mind who I would really like to share this medicine with. That was one of the other things that during my trip, it was just, there's this particular friend that came to mind, and I know that they've suffered a lot in their lives, and I know that they've sought help in different ways. They've tried talking to different people to help them with their problems and their suffering, and just now being able to experience the healing powers of this medicine firsthand. One of the things that came up during my thing was, I thought about that friend, and I decided that I'm going to see if I can help them, help introduce them to this medicine. You know, they live on the other side of the world, but I'm going to see if I can, I'll fly them over to Mexico, and I will, if they want to, of course, and I'd be more than happy to do that, so I can help them heal if they need healing. So that's one thing also that came up during my trip, my experience. And I think that's it. If you have any questions about this, feel free to leave a comment. If you've done this before, feel free to leave a comment. Let me know how was your experience. Was there any similarities to mine, or was it entirely different? And like I said, I think that if I do this in the future, I'm sure that experience will be definitely different than the first one. But at the end of the day, I think the point of this medicine is the fact that it's medicine, and the point of the medicine is to heal. That's just what it comes down to. It's not like LSD or like mushrooms or like other drugs, like where it's just kind of like supposed to like fuck you up and like take you. Looks like, I think the point of this medicine is to heal, is for the body to heal itself. So that's it, guys. Yovi Montana, here to make the world a better place, and I am out. Peace and love.